Yo.
Hey, welcome to the new meta, episode 13.
Lucky 13.
13, man. Good thing we don't do this on Fridays, right?
Yeah, that'd be weird.
So, how has your week been going?
Today, it's been a crazy week. So, finally locked in. So I take a motorcycle trip every year, a big one.
So you own a bike?
I own a motorcycle.
I'm assuming?
Yeah, but I don't ship it internationally because that would be like stupid expensive.
Yes,
so I just
that'd be really stupid.
Someone. That's just hardest
tear
part.
it up.
The hardest part is finding someone to get a bike from. But locked it in. I'm supposed to do the Road of Death in Bolivia this year.
What?
But the guy, my contact, like I went to email him 3 months ago or something like that.
And he's dead?
And he's like, he didn't reply for like 2 or 3 emails. And so finally, like the 4th email, he's like, yeah, left the country. Can't talk about it. It's like, what? Cool.
That sounds like a bad thing.
Yeah.
Road of Death. Sounds like somewhere you shouldn't be going in Bolivia.
It's amazing. But yeah, so then last minute, we booked up Morocco. We're going to motorbike across Morocco.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So
awesome.
That does mean, what day? What day did I say? 18th? September 18th?
18th. September 18th.
The first week we're ever going to skip a podcast.
Skipping a podcast.
Yeah.
September 18th. Rip the dream.
Rips.
That's awesome, man. I used to ride bikes for a long time until I got hit. I had a car run a stop sign, didn't see me.
Really?
Smashed me up really good.
Like rear-ended
So
you?
No, he hit me. He broadsided me in the side of my bike. Yeah. So I got a crazy story for that. We'll save that for a story day because that was it's like a 30-minute story in itself.
Yeah.
But I haven't really ridden since then. I kind of switched out of bikes at that point.
Yeah. Was it?
But I feel you, man. It's really cool.
Did you have a bike before or after kids?
Before.
Much before?
Yeah. Yeah, just before. The accident was before I had kids, and then I stopped after that. I did rent a Harley in the Bahamas for the weekend we were down there. Mm. That was amazing. They don't have speed limits there.
Yeah.
You don't know that.
Yeah.
So.
I don't like to go fast, man. It's just I like going quick.
You do or don't?
I do not like going fast.
You don't?
We were in the desert and we were like topping out our bikes in 2014. And like I have a Ninja 650. It's not the fastest bike in the world, but it's light and it's powerful. And
yeah.
Like I was hitting like 127, not even redlining. I was like, okay, I'm done. I stopped. I was just like, I'm not. I could run over a penny right now and crash.
Yeah, we could talk motorcycles someday forever. Yeah. But we'll go. But I'm a fan too. So.
But yeah, let's get into a couple of the comments from this week. We had another
let's talk about them.
Another set idea.
Okay, let's hear it.
It is as follows. It's from Durso. 2-piece, this is Way of the Whirling Monk set. 2-piece, sweeping wind gains the effect of every rune and deals 500% more damage. 4-piece, Epiphany lasts forever. Each stack of sweeping wind reduces damage taken by 7%. It's a lot of tankiness from a 4-piece bonus.
Yeah.
So you could run, what was it, Desert Shroud or whatever? 6-piece, gain 100% crit chance. Every cyclone from sweeping wind cyclone increases attack speed by 5% and your damage dealt by X%. So it seems like you get Epiphany, you basically get the effect of paired blades, more or less.
Yeah.
But I guess one attack speed will spawn more tornadoes. Is what he's saying.
Sweeping wind is such a staple in Wave of Light and builds already that I like where they're going with the set, but I would just like to see them completely get rid of let's get something brand spanking new.
Sure.
But I do like the thought process behind it.
And I would like eventually, if we could ever get to that point where a lot of skills are utilized, if we could start doubling up. So sweeping wind is a staple in Sun Wuku, but what if sweeping wind was the damage dealer, like that kind of thing. So
that would be cool.
But yeah, I thought
put a big ass aura on it and just run through.
I hate the way Lazy Mancer plays, and that kind of reminds me of that, to be honest, as well.
Yeah, that's the thought that came to mind for me too, honestly, was you're going to run through and just grip things into your death circle, And
then Uncle Dan, he didn't have a build idea, but I thought he put it pretty well. We touched on this last week about I'll just read it. So Uncle Dan says, free-to-play companies seem to be so much more aggressive, and the big AAA companies like Activision, Blizzard, and EA seem so bureaucratic, slow, and bloated. I may never buy another AAA game. Why pay money up front for a game which will probably receive less support? He's not really wrong.
Yeah, man. Well, and see, I think some of the reason for that, like Fortnite started with the small team.
Yeah.
Like they were less than 20 people, I think. I don't remember the exact numbers, but I remember at one point hearing the staff size they had, and I'm like, that's pretty impressive.
Right.
Pretty impressive work. So to compare that to a company, and this is the only company that numbers I know, but I remember specifically reading that Bungie has over 700 employees. And on top of that, they're also outsourcing 2 different companies to help on the development of a new IP and on Destiny. So you're talking about, 20 people versus 700. Just I couldn't imagine the amount of time it would take to dictate to people, 700 people, like, okay, you make this, you make that, you make this, and then you're waiting for XYZ teams, skin breaks, engineering teams,
right.
Physics. So
yeah,
it's crazy. I think that plays in it, but yeah, that's an interesting, dude. The free to play games and the indie games, like we're getting indie games now. If you can get over graphically, like indie games graphically, aren't there yet, and they may not ever be, but there are some really fun indie games, man. Like Shovel Knight. Did you ever play Shovel Knight?
No, I don't really play anything besides Diablo right now.
Yeah, I'm the same. But I played Shovel Knight for a couple hours, and it was fun. Like it was like, hey, this is worth $5.
Sure.
So
yeah. I don't know. And then did you see this? I don't know that we talked about it last week. I want to say we kind of just like rushed through it real quick, but so they're coming out with a comic book series for Diablo. And a lot of people are taking this, mostly probably because we never really get announcements, but a lot of people are taking this as like straight up speculation that D4
you guys that are listening can't see what I'm doing. I'm holding 4 fingers up. Why? They haven't given Diablo 3 the light of day in a year. Like nothing. So why are you making a comic book again?
Right. So, I don't know. Like, there's obviously people really, really like the Diablo series, and it certainly seems like it proves the point where, like, well, if Diablo's dead, like, why are they doing this, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I guess I can get on board with the speculation.
It's like, okay, and let's also, they have a release date on Amazon. So this book is for sale.
Yeah. So on top of the comic, there's also a book.
There's a book on sale on Amazon, and it has a release date of October the 16th, if I remember correctly. 15th. Which doesn't perfectly line up with anything, but it's in that window after season 14 stops. Right before BlizzCon. Mm-hmm. It's like, here's a little hype. Let's get the hype train started a little bit for BlizzCon announcements.
Sure. Right.
It's in that window of maybe. Yeah. Like, we have a season end date. Now we're getting a book. Now we have a release date for the book.
Right.
Dominoes are getting stacked.
Yeah, and like historically they have, and they're kind of doing that like with BFA right now. Like they're pumping up these little lore
they're
videos.
Hyping it. And they're really cool. Like even if you don't play WoW, here comes the WoW. Even if chat, I'm telling you, even if you don't play WoW, those videos were cool. Like,
I'm gonna have to disagree. I know I probably have a really unpopular opinion, but
that song was cool as shit. Did you see the one where she's?
I saw the one on the boat. Where,
you didn't think that was cool? I saw
the one that's like what today with the evil lady.
I didn't see today's yet. So
it was better than the last
to get time to watch it.
But it's still like, I don't know. Like, I'd rather see like a cutscene, like a maybe like Blizzard's thing, like CGI cutscene. Like they do so good at that. Like why are you making these little?
I think it's a lot less expensive. It takes a lot smaller team. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're pumping out the content that they can easily, cheaply.
Yeah.
But I thought it was I was man I don't know. I was into it.
Sure. And I think,
but that's okay. I mean, we're opposites on like everything. Like you like sausage for God's sakes,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Which side note, we were both in Drop a Dusky stream earlier, just by chance.
Oh man, you're going there? You're really going there? All right.
And Dusky, he's a smart man, just like myself, and he likes.
He was pretty political about it.
He said the exact same thing that I said. You just see, there's way more dishes you can implement sausage into.
He started with bacon and you conned him back out of it, but that's okay. We're not going to go there.
I'm just saying. But yeah, I thought that was pretty interesting, and it's definitely big news-ish for Diablo.
Yeah, that's nothing. The book in itself. Like honestly, I could care less about the book. I mean, it might be cool to pick up and read, but it just reinforces that something is coming.
Sure.
Something is coming.
Yeah. And I'm just not the kind of player that gets psyched about lore. I just care about gameplay and stuff. But.
Yeah. I know, honesty, man, the Diablo lore to me is kind of like I haven't played through the campaign in so long. I don't remember it that well. I remember the big overview picture, but if they announce a D4 and the lore is going to continue, the story's going to continue, I would probably do another campaign playthrough and pay attention again and just refresh my memory.
In D3?
Yeah. Oof. That way I go into 4 fresh, man. I'm just like, I remember. I say that, but doing it's a different story.
Sure. Okay, so
I said
this kind of leads me into like a question that I proposed on stream. I don't have the poll anymore. But I can tell you what the results were. So I asked my stream, what do you think Diablo 4 should have a campaign? And we've talked about this in the past with Halo. Like, I don't think that Halo 6 should waste time on making a campaign. Because, yes, it's going to sell copies. But
I think it has to.
Right.
I think D4 has to.
And that was the popular opinion. But I don't think they should do it. Stop spending time and resource on something you're going to play one time. Versus the continued play of all the other game mechanics.
So that gets you invested in what you're doing in the end game.
Gameplay will get you invested in what you're doing.
Gameplay gets you invested, but it's not the only thing.
I don't know.
Like the games that suck you in are the ones where you're tied to your character and like you feel like this character is you. And
they could make like a tutorial like that has some lore or whatever in it for the people that really like that. But how many players are playing Diablo 3 still because they love the campaign? No one.
Nobody. Like I can't even play it again.
Right. But then see how many dev hours went into that.
I'm still glad it has it. I hear what you're saying. You're basically saying, yo, Blizzard, stench out on the campaign.
Yeah.
And increase the multiplayer. And part of me agrees with you. Part of me is like, yes, that sounds great. But I think the campaign is what sucks you in, and I think the end game is what keeps you.
Here's what I think the dream should be. Okay, so there's always going to be leveling, and there's probably going to be seasons in a future Diablo game, right? So the leveling process will be your story.
Okay.
So then you still got it in the game. It still satisfies people. People have to do it like all the time, whatever. But it doesn't take away from the end game. Like
so that would be like in D3 now, making you play the campaign to hit 70?
No, not necessarily. But like you're leveling.
That would be horrible.
Like, so say it was more like an MMO. Diablo 4 probably will lean more towards, if I were to guess, like an MMO ARPG. And so like, you're questing, it's kind of linear gameplay, and that's story driven. And you do have to do that. You got to level up every season.
Yeah, I still think you got to have it in a game like Diablo. I think there are probably tons of people that buy the game and play the campaign and maybe touch endgame a little bit and then leave. And that's okay too, because that's still money in Blizzard's pocket to fund more games. So I'm okay with it a little bit, even if that's all they like. And then maybe they come back when an expansion hits.
Yeah.
So I'm with you, man. I think that I would like to see more money allocated to the end game than to the campaign, but I still think you got to have something good to suck you in, you know?
Sure.
So,
and I think that your opinion would be the vast majority.
Yeah. I agree, but that, you know, and to me, I have only played one Call of Duty game. I played Modern Warfare 2. That's the only one I really ever played, but I played the campaign on it and it was cool. I mean, that kind of is what made me want to play the multiplayer.
But you know look at Black Ops 4, guess what? No campaign. Cutting that out because they know that's just like, it's just not what's keeping people. They just know it.
Did they?
Yeah.
100%. Gone, huh?
Gone. So
that's because they had to take all that money and put it on Battle Royale.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, probably. But
that's what they did. They were like, hey, campaign team, guess what?
You're working on Battle Royale.
You're working on Battle Royale. Yeah. Don't F it up.
Right.
Or we're all losing our jobs.
Sure.
So before Epic buys us, you know, get it pumped up.
But moving on to another poll that I proposed in my stream, and this is split right down the middle. So actually, I'm not even going to show you the result. Well, actually, I can because it's split right down the middle. Okay, so I proposed the question. So say Diablo 4 is an MMORPG. Do you want Holy Trinity? Which, if you guys don't know what that is,
Holy Trinity. I can hear
a tank.
I see the angel singing.
And that's a DPS, right? The standard typical roles. Holy Trinity. So would you want a Holy Trinity if Diablo 4 was an MMORPG, or do you want we don't want specific roles?
We already have it though. We made that in Diablo 3 that isn't supposed to support it.
But it's not really it's not true Holy Trinity.
Z-Necro is a healer.
No. It's not a healer.
Those health globes heal the bejesus out of you.
It's a support. Yes. Like a support class doesn't mean healer. And there's no tank.
I know what you're saying.
Who's the tank?
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I don't know. I jokingly said Holy Trinity because, you know, I'm just trying to fuel the fire a little bit. But I don't know, because we already have so many games that fit that mold. Do I want another one to fit that mold? And the answer is probably not. Sure. You know, probably not. I think I would like to have 4 DPS classes. Diablo is kind of like, let's smash everything in front of us with maximum brute force.
Right.
And I like that, you know?
I would yeah. I mean, I would kind of prefer something more structured like Holy Trinity. Or maybe classes have a lot more skills that support the other people in the group and are very necessary to utilize correctly. But yeah, definitely just having someone who's
if they're gonna do it though, just do it. I think we're in this support role now that wasn't really intended.
Yeah.
I don't think the support characters were intended. I think they kind of started, people made the builds and Blizzard rolled with it, and then they kind of
Wait, now you're backing out on your intelligent design argument? No.
By the time Necro came along, they had already gave in and supported this this theory of support.
All right.
I'm not giving you that victory. But if they're gonna lean into it a little bit, then just do it, man. Just lean into it hard and really give us support, you know, that defined set items and weapons and pieces that are, you know what, you're not killing anything, you're healing people or supporting people. So
but that leads, this is just a straw poll stream, a big post on Reddit, tons and tons of votes. Next Diablo announcement, no Switch included because there will be something else. So there are a lot of votes on this thing. 6,262 votes. 3,492 votes voted for a D4 sequel or prequel for the next big Diablo announcement.
That's what they think it's going to be.
Yes, right. 846 votes for D3 expansion number 2.
No way.
D3 DLC with 810 votes, like a new class, like Druid.
No.
World of Diablo had 782 votes, 12% of the vote.
Maybe.
And then Diablo Dark Souls style. I don't even know. That's just like a random thing thrown in there. Seems like.
I don't know what that is. Oh, they didn't put Diablo 2 remaster on there though.
True.
And I think that would have ate up a lot of votes. I don't. It's hard. I vote with my heart, man. My heart says D4. Give it to me, please. You know. So, what do you think, man? What do you think?
I mean, we talked about this before. I think the D4 is a sure thing, and I think
I agree.
D3 DLC not happening would be kind of a waste. Because I still, and then people might disagree, but I still think like Diablo 3 still like it still looks good. Like there's still like 5 years on this runway. Though.
There's no leaks, man. There would be something.
Sure.
There would be something. There would be a leak.
I don't know. But
something, man.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But
we knew about Necro.
Yeah, how long they told us.
We've had this thought. I know. That's because they have to. Like, there's too many devs. There's too many people involved. You can't keep that on the DL. You can't.
Okay, so we keep saying, okay, BlizzCon, the announcement's happening this year. So there's nothing happening this year? Because we would already know, right?
Maybe. It's not. But a month before BlizzCon, if we're not getting some whispers. But it's just like the E3 announcements that we got. Remember that E3 list we had way back a couple podcasts ago?
Yeah.
And we, it had all this shit on there. It's like, you're going to see that stuff again with BlizzCon for sure. What's true. And Blizzard might leak their own stuff out just to, not even if it's true, D4 stuff and then not drop any D4 too. Sure. Just to, I just think if Drew were in the works, man, some dev's going home and telling his girlfriend and she's slipping it up. Somebody's going to find out. The dude's telling his buddy. And there's just going to be something. Like, we would have the smallest tiny bit of maybe.
Yeah. But again, it's kind of a sidetrack to the point I'm trying to make is I still feel like the engine's good. It still looks good. It still looks better than any ARPG on the market right now. If you are not releasing D4 next year, like you got to add something to D3. So
I'm with you, man. It's not it. The game only dies if Blizzard lets it die. The game is not behind technologically. It's not. It's still fun, man. There's still. They would be interesting if they had a future expansion. What kind of end game would they give us? Like, they gave us Greater Rifting and Reaper of Souls and Adventure Mode, and I think that was a huge step forward in the right direction. But it makes me wonder, how could they improve on that?
Yeah.
And then if they can improve on that, would that be, again, taking away from the glory of D4?
True.
So.
But yeah, I thought
I don't know.
That was interesting because people seem to be pretty sold on D4, even though there's been nothing other than the job postings and now this comic book stuff.
Comic book.
I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yep.
But now, let's get into something else.
Okay.
Legendary gems.
Okay.
What are your so let's just go. Let's talk about the ones that are prevalent and the ones that are obviously not. Okay. So we're just gonna go through this list. So first and foremost, Bane the Powerful. What gems? Let's say, okay, what gems do we keep? What gems do we say get the heck out of here?
Powerful is a keeper. That's on the list. I think it's a good gem. It's definitely a T13 gem.
Yeah.
Speed gem.
Yeah, speed gem. Yeah. Even honestly, push in some situations, it could be good for that.
Yeah. I like it. Stricken, I think, is a really cool gem too. I remember when we got Stricken, I was like, that's interesting. That's a cool idea. So I like both of those.
For Stricken to do something. I don't know. I know it works. I don't know. Or to do something like, so this rank 25 bonus is very like one situation you're gonna be able to use this.
Yeah,
but it is so good.
But the way that Greater Rift is structured, like the End Rift Guardian has so much health. Like it's
Yeah.
That's kind of the way that it works. And it's like Bane of the Trap, third one down. It's got everything. Like every single DPS build uses it.
Yeah.
I know. I'm just excited. I'm excited to go to it. This is the best ever in life.
I also liked when they redid Powerful a bit and gave us like the mitigation and made it a multiplier instead of additive. But I mean, overall, I do really, really like BOP. Stricken, like I said, I think it's so good, so it'd be hard to like give it a rank 25
You can't buff
bonus.
it anymore.
Right.
Yeah. I think it would be cool if it worked on elites as well, but
yeah. But that'd be so juicy.
It would be so overpowered at that point.
But at the same time, it's like maybe they could make, I don't know, because it goes back to like, will you split the game in half? Because like there's Stricken, I see a lot of people use it in like GR80s, and guys, please stop doing that. But like it's really it's for high end pushing. That's when you use Stricken. Like you just
right.
And so it'd be cool to see it have a use outside of just pushing a leaderboard. But
yeah, I'm with you. Boon
of the Hoarder is kind of a staple in T13.
Yeah, it's in a really cool spot because that gem, and then especially with the pet changes they made, where your pets pick up gold.
Yeah,
that made that gem so much more viable because you don't have to use the avarice band to pick up the gold. You can just get a pet out, and the pet will pick the gold up for you. So I really like that, and in any T13 build I do, I try to incorporate it because the extra gold adds up over the course of a season for those gem upgrades.
Yeah.
So that's actually a really awesome gem in my opinion. It's a fun gem.
Yeah. I mean, pairing it with avarice is so juicy.
Yeah, and I do that also as well.
And the pet is nice too because like, say you don't want to like pour over there to like go get that gold. Like the pet will like keep your stacks going.
Just go get it.
Yeah,
it's really awesome.
Nice. Boyarski's chip.
Never used it once in my life.
You never made Invoker? You're all about Crusader.
I did, and I didn't really like it. I mean, so I didn't like Invoker, man. I tried playing it. I didn't like it. I did use it in the Invoker build, so that's, I guess I lied. Yeah. But it's not. It's okay. I guess the problem isn't with the gym. The problem is with Thorn builds.
Builds are so sleeper.
Yeah, I just don't like Thorn builds. Yeah. I don't.
Yeah.
I
don't mind the way Invoker plays. Like if you're gonna have Thorns in Diablo, yeah, okay, Invoker, it works. It might not be the most powerful thing for Crusader right now, obviously, because Condemn's OP, but it works. But like on Necro, I hate it. Tragghouls, Thorns, I don't know if you've ever played that. It's
I haven't.
Literally one of the worst builds I've ever played in my life. It's so bad.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The concept seemed really cool like years ago when I first started like thinking about Thorns damage and Thorns builds. And I'm like, wait, so I can get all this Thorns damage and just run through the rift and things will punch me and they'll die? Right. It's like, that sounds awesome.
Right.
But then the Invoker one's the only one I played, and I didn't like it that much. It just wasn't what I wanted. So I don't necessarily think that gym is a bad place. I think if they made a better Thorns build, that could be a really awesome gym.
Yeah.
So
I also hate the 25 bonus. The fact that the taunt, the primary skills also taunt the first enemy they hit for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Blech.
Well, if you're gonna do some support builds with it, maybe, but it's not healing. I don't know. Yeah.
I think your internet's spiking.
Yeah, I am going choppy.
Oh, great. All right. Next. I'll just do this solo. I mean, you're just kind of here for filler anyway. So, Enforcer pets. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's good.
Yeah.
We use it a lot.
It's good.
It
certainly sees a lot more use like since Necro's come out.
I like it. I mean, it also worked with Centuries back in the day. It still does too, I think now. So
pretty much a staple in Witch Doctor stuff.
Witch Doctors too, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So I don't have any problem with it. I think it's good. Doesn't it? Your pets take 90% renew stitch.
Do you want to like switch to Discord or something? Because it's getting really bad. I think the video call might be eating up your bandwidth. Hello? I'll cut all this out of the podcast for YouTube, so that'd be great. You know what? Fuck him. He'll get in here. He'll start speaking up. Okay? Let's move on. So, Enforcer's got a place with the Witch Doctors. Oh, now he's gone. Jesus, ThaPChild. Dreams are being ripped. It's gonna be on live stream fails. Yeah, one of those live stream fails. Well, let's interact, so guys. So just interact, and I'll just feed off of you guys. Esoteric Alteration, I think is a great gem. It basically adds more mitigation to any build ever. So that's always fantastic. And the rank 25 bonus, even more non-physical resistance when below 50% life. Like, oh my god, GG. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. But Esoteric is a staple in the game for sure. I don't love Gem of Ease. Gem of Ease, like, the secondary effect's cool. Like, you can take off the level requirements of items. Like, that's pretty cool. Like, in the cube recipe, I should say. Test. I can hear something.
Oh my god. Echo. All right. We good now? Can you hear me?
Test. Yeah.
Yo.
I'm going to turn you up just a little bit. Great. Hi.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey.
There's this wonderful thing called internet, and yeah.
You don't have it?
Mine sucks.
Yeah.
Apparently.
So Esoteric Alteration, I'm going to assume you think is great as well. It is a great gem.
Yeah.
No question about it.
Yeah, is that what we're looking at now?
Yeah.
Esoteric? Okay,
yep.
cool. It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah. Gem of Ease. I was just saying, like, the Herodic Cube recipe is cool, that you can take level reduction off. And the fact that you can just put it in a weapon, you can wear it at any level. But
yeah, I'm a fan of Gem of Ease. I think it's really cool, especially for leveling alts. Like, if power leveling weren't so easy, I think it would have a really good spot.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I mean,
but
you could just make that a cube recipe. Like, does it need to be a legendary gem? Probably not. I don't know.
Yeah, probably not. I'm with you.
Gem of Facious Toxin. Obviously a staple in support builds, but like, that's so lame. So lame.
Yeah. It definitely has its place. I think my internet's back if you want to do video again. I don't care. But
God. All right, I'll try it. I can edit all this out. Live stream.
Yeah, it's fine, guys.
Yeah.
All right, round two. Listen, I don't know if KC got it, but Spectrum was having issues in St. Louis.
So choppy.
Oh my god, is that better? All right, cool.
Not really, but let's go with it.
All right, cool. Where are we at?
We are at Efficacious Toxin.
Yeah, I like it. It's pretty staple for every support build ever. You have to use it, requirements, because it stacks. Actually, I'm joking. I really don't like it that much.
Okay.
It would be cool if it would be cool if I mean, I don't know. Do we hate it because it's good?
I mean, I hate it because it's a staple in support builds, but that's so inherently lame. Like, no one uses it for the poison.
The poison damage is really crappy. But the 10% increased damage and then stacking with other gems is kind of cool.
Yeah,
I guess.
I would love to see them like take every element in the game and make a pretty decent legendary gem around it that's actually like you would want to use. So like fire, cold, poison, physical, all that.
Why couldn't they just make it increase poison damage by X% or something?
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
That would be cool for like Blight Spear.
Yeah.
You know, if it had X amount of poison damage.
For sure.
So.
And that's a pretty generic effect, but at least it would get used instead of just like everyone using the same 3 gems.
Yep.
Always.
Yep, I'm with you.
Goguk of Swiftness.
Again, it's another staple because of its cooldown reduction.
Yeah.
The attack speed is okay at times too.
Yeah, attack speed is nice.
But the cooldown reduction is usually the super draw.
Yeah. The dodge, being like the only infinitely stackable thing on this, is so lame.
Yeah. Yeah. How would you feel about it if the cooldown reduction could stack infinitely too?
That'd be too powerful. Way too powerful. I think it should be like, so dodge really is only going to benefit like monks. Like, really. It works for everyone.
Yeah.
But the monk's going to get
it would be cool if that was armor, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. So it'd be cool if it was like maybe based on what class you're playing, it'd be better.
But armor would have to be a set armor or a set toughness. Yeah, like you're saying with class, like maybe it was armor or resist all,
right,
for various classes. Right. But yeah, that would be a cool change. That gem's already kind of powerful in itself.
Sure.
So again, it seems like we're buffing the ones that really are already top tier.
No reason to take a gem above 25 unless you're like a monk. It's kind of shitty.
Yeah, I agree. I think there should be a reason to take all these gems. Like Toxin, you stop at 25.
Right.
That's another one that's kind of like, and we haven't gotten to, the next one on the list fits the same mold too.
Ice Blink, arguably Ice Blink is my least favorite gem in the game.
Is it?
Yeah. 10% crit for the group. It's just like you use it in support because it's like, what else are you gonna use? It's terrible.
Yeah, and if you don't know what it does, it says always chilling these closing by 60 seconds.
You're out of here again. Your internet stopped. We should just use the Discord.
Okay, we can do that. So.
That worked. Oh my god. He's getting DDoSed without question. Or we're not. Invigorating gemstone.
We're talking about Ice Blink.
I don't think this is gonna work. You sound like a robot, dude. Someone's auto-tuning ThaPChild. You can just, chill until you think your internet's good. Just please stop. Just stop talking. Oh, finally we trimmed the fat of the podcast. About time. Yeah, Invigorating Gemstone is so lame. Does anyone ever use this? I could see a support monk using this if the other gems weren't good, but outside of that, when would you ever use Invigorating Gemstone? Unless I'm completely forgetting some point in the Diablo history where people have used it. But I can't remember a time that people use this ever. Myrne had its very short term in the limelight when Necromancer first came out and everyone was using it with Inarius. But Myrne, when Inarius first came out, Myrne was proccing off of proc, so that means 15% chance to smite enemies for 3000% damage is holy. Every single time you would hit or you proc this, the proc could also proc, so it was raining down holy damage from the sky like crazy. And a lot of people hate that they nerfed that into the ground. And I understand why they did, because you can't have nothing procs off of proc in Diablo. It's just a broken mechanic. But it would be nice to see them change Myrne to kind of make up for this, because when they basically fixed Myrne, that nerfed the Bone Storm build into the ground. It's just not even worth using anymore, which is kind of lame, right? So I'd like to see that. But this kind of goes back to what we talked about. If they change every gem to change the element, if every element had a sweet legendary gem to go with it, this would be the holy one, and they could make it a lot better. But as it stands right now, no one's ever gonna use Myrne. But Myrne did have a little spot in the limelight. Rip Myrne, 2017. Gizzard is being used right now. I don't know of any other builds that use it, but Gizzard has a lot of place in the Necro push meta right now. I don't love it because basically the only reason it's good, so if you guys don't play Necro push meta, you're basically trying to not let anything hit you, not anything touch you, not anything to look at you. So it's pretty good because it gives you this shield that can prevent you from getting one shot by anything. And you do have a decent health pool when you push on a Necro, depending on which setup you're running. So it's nice, but it's just, it feels so blah. I feel like life regeneration should just be a bit it's a stat in the game. It's a main stat you can roll on gear. It'd be cool to see life regeneration have more of a role, or just remove it. I don't know, because it's just it's so boring. Moratorium. Moratorium is what I use to augment my gear, because it's a cool looking gem. It's got a little skull, right? So I actually just drop a bunch of moratoriums in town to use as my augment gem. But outside of that purpose of it being an easy to level gem, it has no purpose. 35% damage is instead staggered over 30 seconds. Really? Is there anyone loving that effect? Mutilation Guard, I actually just kind of forget about. Basically, reduce melee damage taken of any element type by 10%, upgrading the damage reduction by 5%. And 25 bonus. While at 50% life or lower, you can move unhindered through walls. Meh. Overall, that's just really meh. It'd be one thing if it was like melee plus. I guess then no one would run esoteric if it was both melee and non-melee. But it's so. There's so many, like, you'd be better off running so many different things over Mutilation Guard. It's used for wizards in hardcore. Like a very specific use in one of the game types that Diablo has to offer. Yeah, we could probably get rid of it. Pain Enhancer, basically no one uses this for the dot that it does, which is again sad. And it goes back to like if they buff this to be like the physical gem, then it could be good. But everyone uses it for the attack speed. I think the only build that uses it currently is Shadow. As far as I remember. But I'm not super in touch with every single push build there is. And then Red Soul Shard. Talk about a letdown. I was so psyched when this first came out, the anniversary edition. I was like, cool. Oh, Whirlwind, yeah. Good point. But it's like, periodically struggle for control, unleashing fire damage that deals 12,005%. I mean, it sounds cool in theory. It kind of sounds like a Hellfire charm from like Diablo 2, which was always really, really cool. But what? Periodically. What does that even mean? That's so like not Diablo. That's so like not a Diablo. Periodically struggle for control. What does it mean? But I get it's like a, it's like a fluff gem. And not fluff in the sense that it's amazing. Fluff in the sense that it doesn't get used and it's part of an event. But this could easily be the fire gem that we were talking about, right? Like it could buff fire damage or something instead. Maybe be used. Simplicity Strength definitely has a place. I actually like Simplicity Strength for generator builds. Very powerful on the Gen Monk. Very powerful in like the Poison Side push build that we put together for Necro. Never heard of yeah, it's part of the anniversary event. They only do once a year. So if you don't get it during that time frame, like you just have to wait until the next year. So it's kind of meh. There's no reason for them not to keep the anniversary dungeon just like in the game. It's just a little bit more content to do. It'd be cool to see that like maybe the challenge rift, if they were to add, I don't know, a reason to do the anniversary dungeon. But it's pretty meh. But yeah, Simplicity Strength, very, very good gem. Taiguk, I used to love Taiguk, dude. Taiguk used to be my favorite gem in Diablo. Back when Taiguk, it didn't used to require a channel skill. So the way it used to work is you just spent resource and then you get a stack of damage. Beautiful, right? And that was something I always loved doing because it would give you something.
Do I still sound like a robot?
Yeah, you do. Beep, boop, boop, beep, boop. Now you sound like a staticky robot. Did you want to try Skype again?
Yes.
Check.
Yeah.
You still sound like a robot, a fuzzy robot.
Really?
Like you're not lagging, but your audio quality is like the worst. ThaPChild bot confirmed? Yeah, clearly.
Beep boop.
Oh,
Mic check.
Oh, I think we're fixed.
Yay.
For now.
Oh gosh. Right.
Oh, maybe not. What is going on over there? St. Louis.
Am I
man.
looking at it?
Yeah, you are. The shithole of America.
Telling you what.
Does anyone speak robot? Can translate? Anyone? All right, I'll check back with you in 10 minutes. Get your internet. Oh my god. It's going really well. Where was I? Taiguk. Yeah, so Taiguk used to be awesome, like, because you could stack it, and it was one little thing you could micromanage inside of a GR, or just a T13 riff, and I actually really, really liked it. Like, I would always use it, like, on any build, because it was just something you had to micromanage, and I love micromanaging a ton of stuff inside a riff. Like, the more things I have to think about and do, the more engaged I am in the game, and the more I'm having fun, for me. But a lot of people hated the way it worked, and I get why, because that's a lot. But yeah. Now it works just on channeled skills, and it's a great channeling gem. There's no way to get around it. It's a great gem for channeled skills. Wreath of Lightning has just become like a T13 if you want movement speed gem. It's really the only reason you use it. And this could easily be what we were talking about. Like, this could be the lightning gem. But as it stands right now, like, people just use it for T13 for movement speed. So, kind of sucks. And Zai's is God tier. Its own multiplier. 20% to stun an enemy for 1 second, which is great for Necros. Really any class, because if you can, I mean, it's CC, right? Like, who's going to say no to some CC? The only bad thing is that, like, when you don't want to stun the enemy, like, say you're pushing on a Necro and you don't want to CC the mob, and maybe you need to consume a corpse because you're low on health or something, like, you can CC immune the mob by stunning them, which kind of sucks. But for every other class, it's pretty great, especially like multi-shot or something. But and then there's this. I thought this was interesting. I've never seen this before in my whole life. There's this category on Diablo Wiki that says Shen's Delight. It's a legendary gem. And it says receiving excess healing from life regeneration and life per hit is converted to an absorption shield, up to 10% of the character's max life. Upgrading that increases the shield potency by 5%. And as far as we know, there's no cap. And then it says at rank 25 bonus unknown. Like, what happened to this gem? Jeez Louise, OP. Like, what happened there? Right? So, a lot of these gems we can get rid of. Like, just going back through the list real quick. Like, I mean, what's the first one? Toxin. I mean, we could, like, yeah, it's going to nerf the support classes, but, like, they need to rework. Like, Toxin needs reworked. And Gem of Ease you could just add as a cube recipe instead of, like, making it its own legendary gem. Ice Blink, get it out of here. Invigorating Gemstone. Myrnae. Moratorium. Sorry, I'm already at 6. Mutilation Guard, I guess, has some use, but let's just say we're going to get rid of it. 7 already. Red Soul Shard, obviously 8. Wreath of Lightning, just for a movement speed buff, needs a rework. 9. So it's like 9. Out of how many? I don't even know. It's just kind of meh. So what I'm going to propose to you guys, you know how we, like, sometimes we ask you guys to give us ideas. What do you guys think would be either A, really good idea for a new gem, like, so a brand new gem idea, or B, reworking one of the current gems? And if you guys want to hit us up with some of your ideas, there's a few ways you can do that. One, you can get on ThaPChild's Discord, which I think you can find out in chat by typing !ThaPChild. 2, you can get on my Discord. I have a channel in there, but ThaPChild's channel is much, much more active. And then 3, you can just leave a comment on the YouTube video, and I actually do read those, so I will pull that in to the next podcast. Or you can tweet at us. Either way, there's so many ways to, like, let us know what you guys A, want to talk about, and B, give us your ideas, because those are always really interesting. And then last, it kind of works out because ThaPChild's not here. You know what? Though we're kind of already over time a little bit. One of the things I wanted to talk about, I don't know if he's going to get back in here. One of the things I want to talk about is something I use all the time in this game, and people are always asking me, like, always, and I'm sure ThaPChild gets it, like, all the time. But people are always like, hey, here's these 2 items, right? Here's these 2 items. Which one's better? Which one would you use? Or, like, hey, I just got this. Is, 8% CDR going to be better than, like, 500 it? Or whatever. Like, there's so many questions I get like that. Like, literally all the time. And you guys think that maybe, like, oh, as streamers, we have some, like, super secret inside information. And we don't. And so all I do, and one of the things I wanted to, like, drive home with you guys, is I use this site called d3planner.com, and there's this great way you can import your BattleNet. So, like, I'm just going to import myself real quick. You hit search, and it pulls up all your current characters, and then you just, like, say, okay, here we go again. Hello?
Hey, buddy.
You seem to be okay.
Don't jinx it, man. Oh my gosh. Way to carry the podcast by yourself, man. My hat's off to you.
It's no different than any other week, so.
I hear you. I feel bad, man. It sucks. I wish there was something I could do.
No worries.
I'm sure it'll crap out again.
Yeah.
So
I only hope. I was actually just talking about how, like, when you get this question a lot, I'm sure too, is like people come in and they're like, hey, which item's better, this one or this one?
Mm-hmm.
And there's no like secret to it.
Yeah.
It's literally, and there's a lot of times like I don't even feel comfortable like giving a response because it's like it's going to be close. And so really the best way to do that is go to d3planner.com. You import your battle tag. You got the only thing you do have to make sure if you want to check that specific like that item is you have to log out, log back in, and to make sure that like that character
your
gets
profile's
loaded,
updated.
To get your profile
just check
updated.
your gear. Check your gear.
Yeah.
Before.
And then like you pull it in. We'll just say like we're on our necro, and you're like, man, if we had a primal bone ringer, like how much damage is that going to add to my Rathma DPS?
Yep.
And so you just like click on the item. You can click it to make it primal. Boom. And you can see your sheet damage goes up by a lot. But to say like you wanted to compare like an ancient with 10% skeletal mage, right? And this is what I do all the time. I'm sure there's actually a better way to do this on the site. But you copy your damage, like the main skill damage you're doing. For this case, it would be like skeletal mage.
Okay.
And I paste it and say, okay, cool. And then I make the change, right? And so let's say that this is like a non-ancient with 10%. And I go back to my skills, I recopy paste, and I just literally do a compare. So like, okay, by having the perfect offhand, I'm getting,
how much?
So much.
Right. So much.
It's huge. It's huge. And
yeah.
This is really how you like min max. Like it's like what's gonna be the next best thing I can do. And it's really just playing with the
2 trillion DPS. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy. So I mean, this is how you're min max. You see like streamers like Quinn. You see streamers like me. You see streamers like ThaPChild. Like they're like, oh, what can I get here? Like that's exactly what we're doing. It's not any kind of like we're not running quantum physics in the background, and
you kind of get what you get. I used to stress over that stuff a lot more than I do now. Now it's just like when you get the drop, you get the drop, and when you're rolling things, if it's a piece, like you can kind of tell if it's a piece that's like, ooh, I don't know which way to go. Let's look it up. I don't get those pieces very often anymore. It seems like my drop luck this season hasn't been that good.
Sure.
So, but yeah.
So yeah, and for me, like, cause like all I'm doing this season is trying to like push the top, and I need to squeeze at it. Like, cause I'm not gonna have 4K Paragon like some of these guys, so I need to squeeze every last ounce of DPS I can get, and so I'm using the crap out of this.
Yeah, I hear you. That is a great tool for people that are trying to min max 100%.
Yeah, and then a lot of people like a follow up to that. A lot of people are like, well, if D3 Planner is so great, like, why would you ever use Diablo fans? And they're not wrong. In a sense, the only reason to use Diablo fans really at this point in time is to search builds.
Yeah, so that's what I was waiting for what you were going to say. I think Diablo fans build layout in general is better. Like I like their formatting more for build guides. I think it's easier. It's just the way it's laid out, and it's more popular too. I think that more people go there for builds. So like that's the mecca of builds. So.
I actually like I think it's great because you can see stat priority and it's like pretty UI friendly. The one thing I do hate and I wish they would fix is I find a lot of the time that my items will just delete themselves.
Yeah, or that'll change your stat priorities or just weird things like they just disappeared. Yeah, so I've had that happen.
I don't really know. I said like a web programmer, like how does that even happen? Like I don't even understand.
I don't know. I've had that happen to me. I put a new build up and people are like, why didn't you put stat priorities? And I'm like, I did. And it takes so long to put the stat priorities on stuff.
Right.
So and you're just like, oh, fuck, it didn't
it's
keep
so
it.
Annoying.
Like,
and sometimes like you'll go in and be like, oh, okay, my dainties binding got deleted. So I'll just go in there and put it in. And then like you go in, you put it in, you hit save, and it's still like not there.
Yeah, or it'll put the wrong item like, completely. I've had to put like a wizard item on a necro before. I'm like, wait, there's no way I picked that.
Yeah, and I used to like they've gotten so much better in the past few months. But I used to log on and I'll have these like notifications up here that says like, hey, someone's got a question for you, and I try my best to answer them. But I used to get like just like porn bots, just like nonstop. Non-stop. Like all my comments would just be like, I want someone to abuse me. Click this link. It's just like, oh my God, dude.
That's hilarious, man. I never really paid attention to their notification system. I probably have a bunch. I didn't really know it existed. So,
but yeah, that's why I use D3 plans, and that's why I use Diablo planner. So it's like they're both
good.
Unique. I would love to see them like merge. So you could search them out like Diablo fans, but the build and like all the juice is in D3 planner, but like same website. That'd be the dream.
Yeah, that would be awesome. It would be, I like it. I think it seems like it's a little bit of effort to get that item. If you have that perfect roll item that's worth figuring out which way to roll, it's worth it, I guess. But so many questions I get on items are like, I got a normal item that's got like a neck piece that's got strength and vit and, whatever other stat that's not good. Like, what do I reroll? And for those, it's like, well, life,
Sure.
It's just like the primal ones are the only ones that I'm really like, this is what I would do, but double check that. I always like follow myself up. Double check that. I don't want you bitching me out because I ruined your primal, So.
Yeah. And like if you don't know what, like obviously like getting in a stream is a great way to like, okay, I just got this, what should I roll? Like that's usually a pretty good idea. But you can get it on Reddit as well. Like people are usually pretty nice for the most part.
On Reddit?
Yeah, I mean if you say like what should I re-roll? I've never seen like a big negative like post from a what do I re-roll post, I definitely see that for lots of other things on Reddit, but if some noobs just get in there and be like, hey, what should I re-roll? Like usually people are pretty nice.
What I missed a lot of what you're talking about, obviously. So did you talk about like liking content?
I did not.
Do you want to get into that?
Sure. So this is something I used to be really, really guilty of, and this might not speak to a lot of you guys because maybe like you're not in the like content creation market. But for the longest time, I would just watch, like if I would watch a video on YouTube and maybe I did like it, like I liked the video, but didn't actually click the like. Like I was so guilty of that. Like there's probably so many videos I've watched in my lifetime where I was like, yeah, that's a good video. Like, and I even like bookmark it, but then I never even bothered to like drop a like. It's just like, guys, you have no idea how much just little things like that go such a long way for like your favorite content creators. And don't be afraid to dislike either. Like, because the other thing about that is the flip side of that is like if you guys like the content and you're not liking, you better believe those guys that hate the content, they're gonna like subscribe. They're gonna come back to every single video you make and they're gonna hit a dislike. Like
I have somebody that does that to me now. I get a dislike on every video I post within seconds.
Yeah.
Seconds. It's like, I'm like, this video's been up 45 seconds. How the F does it have a dislike already? You couldn't even have watched the content yet, So it's funny. It is funny.
But it's the same thing for like Diablo plan, like D3 planner or Diablo fans. Like if you like a build, upvote the build. Like there's going to be so many more haters than like people that are upvoting the build. So like definitely if you guys, I'm not plugging it. I'm not asking for likes before you've seen them. I hate when people do that, right? They're like, hey guys, before I even get into this video, if I can get 5,000 likes on this video before I even get into the video, I'd really appreciate it. And it's just like, no, it's immediate dislike.
The goal is 5,000 likes. Yeah, my thing is I say if you enjoy the content after the video.
Yeah. At the very end, you're like, hey, if you like,
I think I say sub. I don't think I ever say like. I just say hit the sub button. So.
Yeah.
And I didn't even do that for the longest time because I had this, don't if people like they're gonna sub kind of mentality. So.
Yeah. So it's just like, oh my god. But yeah, it makes a big difference. It makes a big difference.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I think my internet's stable. You want to share your screen with me?
Sure.
Please. So I can see what we're looking at.
Rip podcast.
Oh my gosh. If it rips this time, I'm just going to bed.
Boom.
Oh, you did. You definitely broke my internet.
Did I hope so. It was so peaceful when you were gone, to be honest.
That's it. I've been demoted, guys. Enjoy. This is the last episode with ThaPChild. From now on, it's just the meta. There's no new part.
Next time, my camera will be up in the top center, and then I'll just have content in the bottom left and
right. Yeah. So we talked about the gems. I missed the end of that. My takeaway. So I didn't get to comment on all the gems, but my takeaway is I would really like to see. There are the top tier, and I would like to see some other ones bumped up. And I would like to see them maybe make some gems more focused on group play. Make a gem maybe that increases your damage for every member in your party. You know what I mean? Or make a gem that increases, attack speed with members, or just something that's group synergy. That there's nothing like that except for there's a ring, the arc stone or arc something, where it will jump arc between you. And when I very first saw that item, I was like, dude, this could be awesome. Like, let's all throw one on,
right?
And I think that was a vanilla item, because I remember finding that really early in the game, and then my group of friends I was playing with actually trying to get that to test it out.
I want to say it wasn't.
So
I think that was probably.
You don't think so?
No.
Maybe it was a ROS, part of ROS, maybe. Yeah, I definitely remember. It was so long ago, but I definitely remember the first time I saw it and thinking, "Oh crap, let's try this out." And then we got it, and we're like, "Yeah." We threw it on, and we see this arc bolt,
cool.
And then we're like, "Let's get some mobs between us," and we got some shit between us, and it didn't even hurt it,
right?
And we're like, "What the fuck?"
It's kind of like that goblin ring that like spawns a goblin that like charges off and explodes. I remember the first time I got that, I was like, "Oh, cool, here we go."
Yeah,
it's like. Bloop.
And that's the one where the goblin makes the noise too. So you always think you found a goblin. Like, wait. Yeah. Who's got that? So.
But yeah, man.
But yeah, I don't know, man. It would be cool.
I would hate
if they could.
What you suggested, because I think there's already like a gap between like the groups already have an advantage over the solo. So if you're gonna buff, like if you like take that cap of like what GR you can speed farm through solo versus group, and you make it even higher, then it's like, man, it's gonna be real crap when I can't get like a group together.
So that's a good point that I didn't really think of. That's a good point. What if the group already has an advantage, like you just said? What if there were penalties to group play to balance out? Then that's gonna promote solo play. And then the game, I don't know. See, that's why I like this game,
right?
Because of the group chemistry and the group play, and it's so social.
I think we're at an okay place, honestly. Like as far as like, grouping is more efficient, but I can be really damn efficient solo as well. I kind of like where we're at right now. It's definitely been worse in the past. There's been a bigger gap.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yep, I hear you.
I'm all about that.
You wanna do Twitter questions? I mean. You've been solo carrying this for a while. It's up to you, man.
Yeah, I mean, we can. I thought
we can get into this other discussion that you wanted to talk about too.
We'll probably have to save that because that's like a 20-25 minute thing.
Okay.
Real quick though, I want to know your opinion on this. As someone that doesn't maybe play a lot of FPS, PvP. So Black Ops 4, from what it sounds like, a game that's pretty much been carried from its console success.
Yep.
It will not have aim assist when plugging in a controller for the PC.
Let's be real, man. If you're playing on PC and you want to be competitive, you have to play with the keyboard and mouse anyways. You know? So I'm not a huge Call of Duty fan. I do like FPS in Destiny and Halo, and I do like. Is Fortnite considered an FPS? Probably not.
Yeah, it is. For sure.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's not. It's third person though. But
oh right, it's a shooter. Sorry.
So you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, but I do like those games. I think that people that play Destiny on PC with the controller, it's really cool that it has it for the PvE stuff, because those people that need it can play with it and still be competent in PvE. But in the PvP scene, I think they should give it to them, dude. What's it matter? I mean, I guess people can they abuse the system?
I guess, because
it doesn't seem it. advantageous to use the controller in
There's
PvP.
been a bug with Call of Duty in the past. Like I think Black Ops 3 had controller support for PC, and when you would plug in the PC and just use the keyboard and mouse, still it would give you auto
still
aim.
got the aim assist. Yeah. I think there was a bug like that with Destiny 2 in the beta or something, and they fixed it. But yeah, I mean, if it's a bug that's deep in the engine and they can't get rid of it, then I guess. But to me, it just seems like you're taking away enjoyment from your audience.
Yeah.
And here's the example I have for that. My youngest son, who's now 7, started playing Destiny with me when he was 5. And this kid is like a little prodigy. He can, on PlayStation, he literally topped PvP charts at 5 years old. It's insane. And so when I switched to PC, I didn't want to play on PlayStation anymore because it's PC superior in every way. So I got him a copy on PC and I got a computer set up for him. But he can't use a keyboard and mouse yet. He's just not that advanced. But he can still use a controller. So I could plug the controller in and we could play together. And he's at a disadvantage in PvP. But he can do all the PvE stuff just fine with the controller. He runs raids with, me and the crew that we have. It's cool. It's fun. And so I think if Destiny would have followed that same thing and said no aim assist on controllers, he wouldn't be able to enjoy the game on PC, and then I wouldn't have somebody to play with. And I'm sure I'm not the only person like that.
Right.
So why do it?
Yeah, to me, you're kind of limiting. Like for a game that has been, the majority of its success has come from console, to like say, okay, now you finally get to play it on PC and there's going to be people to play against, but we're not going to let you use a controller. I think that's pretty shitty. I really don't think that as a whole, like the people I feel like that have a problem with aim assist and controllers are the people that aren't that good at keyboard and mouse. I think the people that are really good at keyboard and mouse are like, yeah, sure, whatever, like let them play. I don't care. And the same thing with me. It's like I would love to go against top keyboard and mouse players with the controller. Like I feel very confident, and I have been able to do that in other games like Titanfall and just massacre. But
so do you think your skill's better with the controller than keyboard and mouse?
Currently, yeah, because I've never been a keyboard and mouse player for an FPS.
Really?
Ever. Yeah. And if you've ever stopped by for a Fortnite stream, it definitely shows. Potato and confirmed. But it's like funny. The worst first game to play for an FPS because you have to like build and shoot. So I can't just like focus on one or the other.
On one of the two. Yeah. So I started playing FPS first with CSGO, like one of the Counter Strikes, like forever. Not Go. Is Go the newest one? I don't know.
I don't think so.
One of the old ones I started with, and then so and I played a significant amount, and I already had that established. Then I switched to some of the Halos and Destiny on console, and I had potato thumbs at first, and then I played thousands of hours and got pretty good. And then so switching back to keyboard and mouse, like I played Overwatch and other games, and it's pretty natural. So to me, it feels like a controller would always be a disadvantage, but maybe people with crazy thumb skill can get it done. I don't know why they would do that. It doesn't make sense to me, but it's Call of Duty, man. They don't, they got so much riding on this battle royale. Maybe, like, in all honesty, it feels to me like this battle royale is going to make or break Call of Duty.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, if this flops, man, we'll see.
Yeah, because I think they've been, so they went pretty controversial and stopped the boots on the ground movement was like they lost quite a few.
So many people cheered at that though. Did you hear the crowd?
No, for sure they did. People love the boots.
And
on
I'm
the ground.
thinking like, what? Like to me, I'm like I don't like it, but okay.
It's the same crowd that doesn't want controller. Like it's like if you're not that good at keyboard and mouse, you hate people that have on it. Like it's ridiculous. But anyways. It's the same crowd. Like it's maybe people that don't get to play as much as some of the hardcore people. And like Call of Duty for me, when it got the advanced movement, like that's when it got good because like now I have an extra layer of a way I can outskill you, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah.
Do you think that that's why Fortnite's so popular is because building is another skill gap to add on top of your keyboard and mouse aim?
I think that's one of the reasons. Obviously, we've the free to play and the fact that even if you have zero skill whatsoever, there's some excitement in like looting and stuff like that. I think those combinations. Yeah, I think that.
Yeah, because there's definitely a skill gap. Like I think I have decent shooting skills, but I don't play enough Fortnite to have the building skills that I need, and I know I don't because I watch people play, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't do that. You know, my brain just doesn't work that fast yet. Yeah, that's the skill gap for me. So like if I get in one-on-one fights with other people who aren't that great at builders, I usually win those. But it's then when you get the dudes that run up and build above your head and drop down behind you, and you're sitting here the whole time like shit trying to build your ramps and just get annihilated.
For sure.
That skill gap to me seems like it adds another dimension to it. It's like, okay, your gunplay can't carry you. And I think that's where like Doc Disrespect, if you've watched him play, his gun skill is pretty good in PUBG, you know?
Right.
But I haven't watched him recently, but when he first started playing Fortnite, he was getting destroyed and because of his building skills. And I don't know if he ever got them or not.
Yeah.
So,
and so like I love when there's more than just like shooting, and like I'm all about that. Like in Call of Duty, they had the advanced movement and stuff. But I hate to watch like, so when you watch someone play Fortnite that's very like, say like Ninja, like it's interesting to watch because he's just like annihilating people. But when like the two really, really good players run up into each other, it's actually, I think, one of the least interesting things in the game. Like
it's a building contest. Like they just build and build and build and build.
Like
and build.
I no longer watching FPS. I'm watching Minecraft 1v1. It's just like, what is this? And I mean, there was like a big tournament recently where like, you know, the tactics were like build, like these guys like stayed low and they were just like building above them. And they're just like creeping, and it's just like, that's the high, and they won. They ended up winning. It was just like, that was the highest level gameplay for Fortnite, and it's so dull.
That's crazy. Yeah, tournament play switches the meta up on everything though. Yeah, and it would do that even in Diablo.
Right.
Like if Diablo had any kind of PvP in it in Diablo 4, once you start adding prize pools to winning, the stakes are so much higher that people will find out whatever method is the slowest and safest way, and I think it can hurt gameplay.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of games PvP get destroyed with competitive modes or tournament play, and then other people see these tournament players, like they saw these tournament players win that way. So I guarantee that's probably being mimicked on live servers now.
Right.
You know, and to the point where eventually Epic may be like, okay, we got to do something about this. You know.
Yeah.
So, let's hop in some Twitter questions real quick.
Let's do
it. So Demonic Grizz says, if you guys could choose one of the Rift Guardians to play as a character, which one would you choose? So you get to control this guy and run around and smash face.
I mean, Blighter, he's a freaking god.
Yeah.
He's by far.
Yeah. Perdition, maybe that double hand teleport, just death shot would be fun. It would be fun. I don't know, man. That would
Hamlin.
be
no way.
Hamlin. Oh my gosh. It would be fun. Blighter, Rhyme would be kind of cool. You never get hit by anything. Maester Magus says, what is the most hype game you just don't get or like? Is there a game out there that people love?
I mean,
you're kind of
forever
like,
for me, it was Minecraft.
Yeah, I can see that, man. I can definitely. I didn't even think about Minecraft, but I can 100% agree. There's got to be something in Minecraft I don't know about. There's got to be something that people do inside of Minecraft. Oh my God, my internet again.
No, it's me actually. I'm back.
It's Spectrum. Yeah, I'm telling you.
It must be.
Spectrum's having some major issues this weekend, from what I'm understanding. So, yeah, Minecraft's a good choice. For me, it's League of Legends, and I know that people are going to go crazy about that. But I'm not a huge League of Legends fan.
Yeah.
So
I bet I still get it though. I do still get it. I don't love it, and I can't watch it, but
I it's the same. I get it. It's just I don't know.
But Minecraft is like I still don't really like. You get it's like Legos, digital Legos. But I guess Legos is still really, really popular as well, to an extent.
I guess they do story mode and stuff. I think there's like a story mode with it that people can play and make adventures and art role play. I guess I don't know. So, all right. Iguanodon says, "Will the new meta strictly talk about Diablo, or you guys introduce more games as the podcast develops?" I think we do talk about other games a little bit.
I think we're kind of in the action RPG wheelhouse currently. We talking about PoE, we talk about Diablo.
Things that we like.
Yeah,
Blizzard games. In
Halo.
general.
Shooters. So. Like you talk about Destiny, I talk about Halo.
Yep. And of course, I bring up WoW every podcast. So,
true. And we were actually supposed to talk about another game tonight.
But that was actually on the schedule, but internet rip.
Right.
And then Rue says, if Blizzard did not exist, what games would you look into streaming? So he didn't say Diablo, he said Blizzard.
Right.
So that kind of kills WoW would be on my list, but since there's no Blizzard, I like Destiny, man. I think I would burn out on Destiny pretty fast. So I don't know. What about you? Do you have something?
I would definitely play FPS. That's still something I currently struggle with because I'm good at Diablo and I like making content for Diablo. But a big part of my talent is playing FPS, so I do get the itch a lot to get really good at an FPS, and because that's pretty exciting to watch. But you can definitely engage with chat less playing an FPS. So
yeah, that's a reason that I think I stick to Diablo so much. I'm as good at Destiny, if not better, than I am at Diablo. It's a game that I love and I'm really, really good at. But Diablo gives you the opportunity to be so engaging with your chat, whereas on an FPS you can't. You can look over every couple seconds maybe, but you're not reading long sentences or big paragraphs. And, I don't know. I haven't thought about it a whole lot. That's a kind of loaded question. So. It's about all we got, man. We were light on questions this week. I didn't get a whole lot of hits. So if you guys want to ask questions, you can message me on Twitter. You can join my Discord, and I have an Ask New Meta section in there. Or you can ask Fluff on Twitter or in his Discord.
That's correct. So, or you can comment on the YouTube section.
Or YouTube. Yep.
I do check those regularly. So
yeah. So that's how you do it.
Great, flawless podcast. The number 13.
So
what are the
smooth.
Chances, though? The first time.
It's episode 13, man. Episode 13.
We get DDoS.
Yeah, it sucks, man. It sucks. I wish there was something we could do about it. I really do. Right. But it's I knew it was going to happen someday. It
was only my time.
I'm glad you had to solo the cast, not me.
Although it wasn't our first technical. We had that issue where my alerts would get played for a while.
Oh yeah, what was
it? It was my first or second podcast. Yeah.
Yeah. So cool. Thanks for hanging in there, guys, and enjoying the content. We'll be back next Tuesday at 9 p.m. for episode 14. Much better number. Should go smooth. So if you want to find more of me, my name is ThaPChild. You can find me on Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, everywhere at ThaPChild.
Yeah. And I'm same, Lord_Fluffy, double those underscores on the Twitter. We'll catch you guys next Tuesday. Internet blazing.